Hi, I'm Tom Marks with the Marks Law Firm in Orlando, Florida, and welcome to the Healthy Family Law Attorney. We have a special guest today, Vicky Townsend. She is a co-founder of the National Association of Divorce Professionals. She's also the CEO. I have known Vicky for, I don't know if she wants me to say this. Nope, she's saying
a long time.
So the NADP, I'm the director of the Orlando group, and we started it 4 years ago in April. It's an amazing group. We're going to talk about that today. So Vicky works with licensed professionals that work with clients before, during, and after the divorce. She's a graduate of Florida State University. Vicky has had a long career in the advertising and marketing industry, so she knows that industry. After a painful divorce filled with errors and a labyrinth system that no one in the real world could negotiate, Vicky decided to radically improve the broken family law system. She is revolutionizing the divorce process by working with and connecting elite licensed professionals from all around the divorce process that help a couple during the most delicate, confusing time in their lives. Vicky believes and now knows that the divorce process can be done better without destroying family emotionally or financially. And that's why Vicky created the National Association of Divorce Professionals. The NADP is focused on making a positive impact on the divorce process, legally, financially, emotionally, familially, in every way. So having a team of experts championing for their clients makes the NADP members an incredibly valuable asset for their clients. By having these resources at your fingertips and by understanding all of the areas of the divorce process, NADP members are creating better results for their clients. And her tagline, Vicky, because it takes a village, right?
It does indeed. It's very few people can come out of this. There are some people that can do this on their own, but those are few and far between. And but having a village of professionals that understand everything that you're going through, and then they communicate with each other and make the best decisions for the family that they're working with from a holistic level, makes it a much better outcome for families.
Right? So tell our audience, what is the NADP? What does it offer? Why did you start the NADP?
Oh, awesome. Well, you read it in my bio. I went through, now more than one very painful divorce. And, even after, the first one that I had gone through, I'm a pretty smart girl. And I still made stupid decisions. That last time that I went through it, it was like, wait, how did this happen to somebody that I felt like I was pretty smart, but I still didn't handle it correctly. And I think that what I needed was a team of experts that really walked me through all of the stages, not just ending my marriage, but changing the deeds on my properties and my insurance and tax implications of all of these things. And, all of those things that need to change, documents, who's going to pull the plug, was really important to have a team that understood everything that was going on in my life. And if there was such a thing as being an advocate for somebody, that's what I wanted to try and create. And I decided that, through my own observations of the process, being through it, more than once, I saw that I just felt like the professionals that I was working with really weren't on the same page with me. I just needed a team that was on the same page. So that's why we created the NADP, so that all of the professionals, that we have about 90 different categories of these professionals in the NADP, whether you've got a business together, whether you've got bankruptcy or immigration issues, whether you've got all of your will and estate planning and tax implications, and of course, all of the co-parenting issues, and all of those things need to be taken into account, and each divorce has its own unique thumbprint. Everybody that's working with that family should just understand what that thumbprint is and the needs that they have, and
Right.
the implications of the decisions they're making on everybody else. So that was kind of what we wanted to do, was make an impact by bringing everybody together.
Right. And I think it's been so powerful. And as the director of the Orlando group, I can tell you that we've had some cases, we've had multiple members of our group assisting on the case, where there might be a therapeutic need for the minor children. Then there might be a different therapist in the group that can help the parents learn to co-parent better. So there's co-parenting therapy. And there's a realtor that helped them sell their home in record time for a record amount. So there's CPA involved, and there's a real estate attorney involved. And, so we have all of those members that are licensed and qualified, and not just people that are licensed and qualified, but people that are vetted by the national group, the people that we really get to know intimately, professionally, that you learn you can trust, because if they don't do a great job for your client, why would you refer to them again? And so we're very careful about that. We have a fantastic group in Orlando. So you've done a fantastic job, Vicky, you and your business partner, Liz Becker. So tell me, Vicky, what is the value proposition for the NADP?
Well, for the divorce professional themselves, it's really about finding that community of resources, because the truth is that you need tools in your toolbox, and each job that you go to with that toolbox will require a different hammer. And sometimes the hammers themselves are even different, right? Sometimes you need a screwdriver, and sometimes you need a drill. Each family needs something unique and different. And when you have the relationships and you know those people inside and out, you've developed those relationships, you understand when they are the best choice for your client, because you understand what their skill set provides to this family. So sometimes you'll need somebody that may be bilingual, or somebody that works with, and one of the chapters that we're working with, a special needs family. These are things that require expert training. And we want to have those tools in your toolbox, so that when you have a family coming to your office, Tom, that you have great people to pull from. And those people, to your point, that you know, like, and trust.
Right.
So that's what we find to be the best thing about us, is that you all understand in a very deep way where they bring value to your client.
Right. I couldn't agree more. And you make a great point. And a good example is, I was in the middle of a collaborative meeting. It was our first meeting. I'm representing the wife. And when they set out their goals, it turned out the wife wanted to stay in the home, and the husband was fine with it because he didn't want to disrupt the children. And so really the only remaining question was, could my client, the wife, qualify for the mortgage on the house? Because the husband had to be either released from the mortgage or a new mortgage obtained. So I was able to pull out my iPhone and text one of the mortgage brokers in our group. And I gave her just a few basic, what income, the value of the house, what the mortgage balance was, and so forth. And within 15 minutes, I could report to the group that, yes, my client could qualify to refinance that mortgage. And it just catapulted the meeting forward. It was one of the most successful collaborative cases I've ever had. In fact, the mental health neutral in that collaborative case was also a member of our NADP group. So it was a great result. I'm sure you see that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because you guys know and understand each other's work ethic, skill set, and all of those things. And to know and understand that, you're not going in blindly. And you're working with people that you know has your client's best interest at heart. And that's another thing that we do is we want our members to be the type of professional that puts an oath that they put their clients' needs ahead of their own. And that doesn't always happen in this industry. There have been families that have been destroyed because people see opportunity. And that's not the members of the NADP. They truly care about the results that their clients receive.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, there is that high trust level, and there's that camaraderie and willingness to support each other and our family law clients. I was thinking about it in some respects. You starting the NADP, you have that 50,000 foot view, but you also have the boots on the ground view of having gone through a divorce. Obviously I have the boots on the ground view because I'm actually in the divorce process, or paternity, or modification, or just child support, time sharing, any of those types of issues. But what is it you think is the most valuable part of the NADP to the family law consumer?
So the person going through the divorce,
yes.
They can feel a great sense of comfort that these people, like I said, they have made a pledge to those families that they will put their needs ahead of their own. Each month, they learn holistically about the divorce process. I don't know that there's any team member that's outside of the family law career that knows and understands the divorce process like the other members, those surrounding members in the NADP.
Right, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we're both big fans of it. I've seen the value of it in the 4 years I've been the director, and you started it, what was it, 5 or 6 years ago?
6.5 years ago. 6.5 years ago.
Awesome.
Can you believe it? Thank you. Yeah,
I love that. I love that word holistic. I love the word help and hope. As I always say, I want to provide hope and help to your family to successfully navigate the family law process in a healthy way. So, Vicky, this is the Healthy Family Law channel. So tell me, do you have a healthy tip for our audience today?
I do. The one thing that I would love for all the people going through a divorce process to understand is that divorce is an extremely stressful event in your life, and it triggers a hormone called cortisol. And you may have heard of it as the fat hormone. It's that fight or flight hormone. And your cortisol is the only hormone that every cell in your body has a receptor for. It's the only one. And the purpose of it back in the day was to get you away from a tiger that came in through the door. But in order for that cortisol to effectively get you to get out of the way of that tiger, it had to shut down other parts of your body and use that energy to propel you away. And what that does in today's terms, because we don't have a lot of tigers running the streets, it's really about the stressors of this. And it shows up by shutting down your reproductive system, because you don't need to reproduce when you're trying to get away from a tiger. But it also it shuts down parts of your prefrontal cortex so that you don't make good decisions. And sometimes you'll even find yourself saying and doing things, or even maybe your spouse saying or doing things that they normally would not say or do. That's primarily the result of cortisol. And it's actually a very sticky substance. It can get on your brain and stay there for a very long time. And the last thing is that our bodies are not meant to be under constant floods of cortisol, because it's an inflammatory process to your body as well. You're not meant to live like that. And in today's society, a divorce can take months, years, even decades. And so what I would say as my healthy tip is to try and at least level off that level of cortisol in your body. And science tells us that there's two really simple things that you can do to rid your body of some of that cortisol, and that's meditation and yoga. So if you can find some time to calm your mind, listen to something on your podcast, or listen to things like this. Listen to things that can calm you down and keep you centered. And yoga is a great place for that. That actually takes the cortisol away from your brain so that you can start to make better decisions. And you're not a horrible person. It's just cortisol. So just remember that there are some things that affect you that maybe you're not aware of. And so if that just gives you some an eye-opening to why people act crazy during the divorce process, it's likely that it's that chemical, that's that hormone that's in their body that's impacting everything else.
Right. Well, thank you for that, Vicky. I appreciate that. For our audience, I hope you found this to be helpful today and have enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the section below. Hit that like button, and if you'd like to see more videos, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon. We're still posting new legal content videos on Wednesdays and video interviews like this every Friday. So thanks for being a part of the channel today. Vicky, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure. And you are one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And anybody that's listening to this, Tom is an excellent choice. Trust me, I know.
Well, I appreciate that so much. And Vicky, we have known each other a very long time.
A very long time.
I appreciate you. So thanks everyone for joining us, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.